Barbershop conversations, man. Click the link below. Yeah, I remember 2 months ago I said the Sheik made them kiss the ring. Terence Crawford used my quote. I didn't say he got it from me, but he used the exact same quote. He said Bob Arum and Al Haymon had to kiss the ring, man. They all his fighters are on his undercard, and I don't know where they're at in terms of Terence Crawford is in terms of his negotiations and how much control he has over his career. But I know he has a sense of like good, like they're underneath me. You feel like you've won, and I'm just big on ownership, guys, and there's a lot of things that's going to be said, but the one thing that trumps everything is, did you fund your own war? Do you fund your own family, or do you wait till every other Friday? And there's nothing wrong with waiting to every other Friday to get a check. I did it for 7 years. I also believe 30% of your income has to be independent of that. 30% of your income, you can survive for 3 months until you can transition out or go full time on what created that independent 30%. I don't believe no man should solely depend on another man to feed them. Because at the end of the day, you're going to end up starving. They're going to force you to retire. They're going to fire you. They're not going to give you a raise. They're going to start treating you with disrespect. So many different ways, man. You age out. So many different variables, man. And I genuinely root for everyone to have entrepreneurial success, and so I end up watching the full interview, but I didn't watch it as I watched it in segments. I didn't watch it because they had the titles on the bottom, so I went to the titles as I saw fit. So I didn't watch it as a masterpiece. I watched it as a segmented masterpiece, right? And I got the sense that Terence Crawford has a sense of relief. Terence Crawford has a level of reassurance that he is who he say he is. And he's one of the few fighters at this moment. I'm not going to say about tomorrow and next year, because everything changed. These guys move and shake. And I feel like, I don't know, because I haven't shaken the man's hand, and I may or may not cover the fight next week. We'll see. I've never met Turki Alalshikh, but I like the space that Terence Crawford is in, in terms of his disposition on that interview. Things could change because he can go back to top rank. He can, like many of these other fighters, they go to the very same man that disrespected them. I don't negotiate disrespect. So you've never seen me go back, or you've never seen me go online and apologize and ask for someone's hands in friendship. I think that's corny. I think when a person show you who they are the first time, I genuinely think you should believe them. Instead of that currency thinking about, man, did I betray him? He betrayed me. Nah, man. Every relationship has a sunset date, whether it's death, whether it's divorce, whether it's, so be it. You go your own separate ways. But he made Al Haymon, getting back to my point, he made Al Haymon and Bob Arum kiss the ring. It took Terence Crawford to show y'all that. I've been telling y'all that for a decade. My life is an example of it. Kiss the ring. Not only, I told you I'm the freest man in boxing. Nobody has domain over what I say about anyone in boxing. And everything that I say is true. If that's the case, people would be online calling me notice nobody online calls me a lie. They all watch. Nobody, it's not how many people you watch, it's who watches. Nobody has said Fred is a liar. Leonard Ellaby has never gone out. He's attacked everybody but me. So, Terence Crawford has given you a half a blueprint. He ain't funding his own fights now. I funded my own movies. I fund I fund my son's AAU team. I can easily call Nike or Reebok or some type of grassroots and get free jerseys and all that. I have NBA contacts where I can call, but I choose to front the money. Me and other parents. I'm not saying I'm doing it alone. But I like where he's at emotionally. I like his temperament, and watching that interview. And listening to that interview, it has a lot of irony in it because Andre Ward is celebrating him for doing it, and Andre Ward didn't do it. Andre Ward had a chance to do it when he left the Goosens. He didn't do it. He had a chance, but he didn't do it. He should have funded his own fights. If he didn't want to fight in a casino, he should have said, you know what, I'm going to just go to a 5,000 seat arena, sell it out, and get all the money. He didn't do it. I'm waiting for a fighter to do that. I'm waiting. Shout out to all those fighters on the East Coast that's putting up their own money for their own fights, going to Mexico, putting up your own money for your own fights. They're doing it on a much smaller scale. It's the same logistics, though. Similar logistics, not the same. Similar logistics. Y'all got to start being independent, man. Sitting out of the ring for a year, waiting on another man to give you permission to do something you love and that has ability to feed you and your family is ridiculous. All y'all PBC fighters, all your DAZN fighters that's just sitting out for years and just waiting on Uncle Al, waiting on Mr. Bob Arum, waiting on Mr. Eddie Hearn. It's just despicable. And this ain't an ethnicity video. This is I am my own man type of video. And it's Friday night, man. It's nice and peaceful. I'm about to watch the coyotes run through the yard and eat up all the squirrels. That's why my window's open, man. We got when you got acres, you know what I mean? I don't have acres, excuse me, but my neighbor does. And at nighttime the coyotes run through and eat up the squirrels, and you can see it on the Ring app and stuff like that. But bears, and I'm gonna start posting the zoo that be in my neighborhood, But yeah, man, y'all go ahead and have a beautiful day, and I'm gonna work out a little bit and watch the coyotes run through. It's amazing how the coyotes know when the humans asleep, So anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a beautiful day. And but yeah, salute to Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford, you got to go fund your own fights now. You know what I mean? You got to go fund your own fights and go put on Terence, you got to go put on your own card. And don't ever forget, I'm the only media outlet that said Terence Crawford, call Earl. Y'all remember? Terence, call Earl. I went live so many times during COVID. Terence, call Earl. Y'all make the fight. Remember Earl was on my show? He said, man, I don't know how to make the fight. I said, why don't you just call me? I know how to do it. Earl, you would have made more money. We could have stuck up Showtime. For that fight, we could have stuck up Showtime, dog. We could have stuck up Showtime, dog, and made a mint. But y'all don't see it like I see it, man. I don't care how much money y'all made, Terence. If you would have did it with me, if you and Earl, if y'all would have just trained and put me in charge of the logistics, you see how y'all shook hands at the weigh-in and said we made more money than, you know how much more you would have made if the three of us would have came into agreement? Each of us put up $1 million. Terence, you put up $1 million, seed money. I put up $1 million. Earl put up $1 million. and put me in charge of the logistics. You see everything in, everything out. We would have put it on who was the A side? Spence Crawford app. You know? If I know how to, listen, I taught myself how to build a house. Didn't y'all see that during COVID? Didn't y'all see it from the studs? Taught myself how to build a house. I taught myself how to direct a movie. I'm Emmy nominated. I'm a great father. I'm a great family man. People owe me money. You know what I mean? I just, you know, I don't owe no man no money. No, I don't owe no man no time. I don't owe no man no money. I've been online too long, this arrogant, and nobody has come out and said, Fred did this to me. Nothing. No woman, no man, nothing. I get frivolous cases, you know. I own property, you know. Then I stand before the judge and be like, dismissed. You know. So, anyways, man, we would have honestly we would have made 33% more money. Y'all would have Terence and Earl. Y'all would have took home 33% more money if Earl would have said, you know what, Fred? Forget it, man. I'm not giving. If Terence, I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video. Y'all go ahead and have a comment. I want to do another video after this. Peace.